All right, let's move to Bevel and Emboss. And remember, click the name that selects the checkbox and gives you the new options for what you're working at. And which bevel do you want? I think by default, I'm not sure which one is picked up, but you can cycle through these. There's no keyboard shortcut that I know about, and figure out what you want. Whether you want this chiseled, you know, you play around, and you want to be careful about overusing this. And then yeah, play with the depth, play with the direction, play with the size, soften, all the rest. Now, here, once again, do you really want this gray in there? What happens if you choose the blue? And now we're working in a little harmony. We're not having that neutral color being introduced. And we'll just change that there. And you play around. What does contour do? Well, click on it. What does it do? You play around with the slider, and then you have all kinds. Now, these are curves. If you remember the curves adjustment layer, anytime a curve bends back on itself, you're going to get some really strange effects. So just buyer beware. If you start playing with these, different things are going to happen. But I'll just switch it back here so you can play around with that on your own. And then the texture, depending upon which texture you select. And remember, these are patterns, actually, even though it says texture here. We made a little custom pattern, and here it's just adding it to our bevel. We'll go back to nothing there. That is going to come more into play when you've got the pattern overlay, because the pattern overlay is going to pull whatever texture you have selected. We created this one on the Golden Gate Bridge, if you remember right. So you can play around with these, and I'm not sure which ones are preloaded for you, but hey, look. Oh my, how many different things do you have? And of course, just like brushes, you can load patterns. There are pattern libraries that you can discover. And, is this good, bad, indifferent? Well, this is totally up to you. What's the opacity? Crank that down. Think about what you want to try. Go ahead, work through these. Color overlay just changes literally the color of the font, and a lot of these defaults just default to something horrendous. What if we chose a light value? We're sticking in the same color scheme here. Or conversely, something really dark. Now you start to see what that Bevel and Emboss did. There are a world of it's not to that, a world of choices here for you to make, and which will work for you. And we're just going to click OK so I can show you. Here are the effects, and you can turn them off individually. I urge you to play around with this, and sometimes more is better, and sometimes just a touch of something can really help. So have fun with layer styles. Put this in your toolbox for things you can use later. And remember, it's not just typography. Any element that's isolated on a layer, or any selection that you make, you can apply layer styles to.